Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are beginning a 2-day look at a name that some of you might know, maybe if you read the news and follow the tech news, technology and computers. And if you don't know it today, well, you'll know it at the end of this article, and you'll definitely be hearing this man's name a lot in the future. We're talking about Sam Altman.
Yes.
You know all about him, don't you, Sam? He's your namesake. You have the same name.
Yes, we do have the same name, but although he probably is a Samuel and I am a Samantha.
That's true.
But we do both go by Sam.
There you go. So are you in a Sam club?
Yes, Sam's club.
There is a club of people named Sam. Well, he's a tech guy, and if I tell you he's OpenAI, ChatGPT, he's an AI guy.
Oh, okay. If you say ChatGPT, then I know what you're talking about.
All right. Yeah. Well, I guess in the future, along with Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, he's one of these guys we're going to be talking about as kind of changing the whole world of computers and more importantly, or more accurately, how people use computers in their daily lives. Because of course, AI is going to change so many things. It already has. But I kind of feel like we're in the sort of early or mid-1990s when the internet is just starting out and it's kind of hard to know where it's going to be in 10 and 20 years. I mean, in the mid-90s, it would be impossible to guess how much we use the internet, of course, through smartphones and many other ways. And in the same way, I think now, sitting here in 2024, it's hard to know how AI is going to change stuff in the future. Work, play, hobbies, activities, information, all sorts of things are going to be very different because of people like Sam Altman. So let's find out how he got to where he is now and where he might be going with us and AI into the future.
Sam Altman has the world at his fingertips. At just 39 years old, he is the CEO of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. As such, he is central to some of the most important technological developments of recent times. But how did Altman get to this level of success at such a young age?
All right, so yes, the full title of our article about Sam Altman is Sam Altman, The Road to Success. I guess he's kind of halfway along this road. He's already had some success, but as we say, we haven't really seen exactly what ChatGPT AI is going to do. So this road will continue long into the future, but it's definitely a name to remember, Sam Altman. Let's find out all about this very intelligent and talented and successful businessman and computer guy.
Yes, and so we see in our article it says Sam Altman has the world at his fingertips.
Because he's typing on a keyboard with his fingertips.
No. No, this phrasing just means if you have the world at your fingertips, it means you're in a position to kind of do something anything that you want to do, and everybody's watching you and you can do whatever you want. Wow. So he's kind of in this position because of his technological advances, where he is in his company and all this kind of stuff.
Interesting.
And as we keep reading, it says, at just 39 years old, he is the CEO of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. So he's the CEO of the company that has created ChatGPT.
And OpenAI is the name of that company. So you could think of OpenAI as like Apple and ChatGPT as like the iPhone. It's a product that they make, but they make so much more and they will do even more in the future. So as such, being the head of OpenAI, the company behind or the company that created ChatGPT, as such, he is central to some of the most important technological developments of recent times. He's a very important guy in the world of computers, these technological developments, the science of computers that's changing so much and will change even more. But here's a question that we hope to explore and answer in our article today and tomorrow. But how did Altman get to this level of success at such a young age? He wasn't just born wearing a business suit or a nice shirt, being a smart computer guy. How did he get there? His education, his background, we'll get into all sorts of stuff, and we'll find all about technology, or as we're using the adjective here, technological. It's a long word, but it's a fun word to say.
Yes, it is. And also it is a fairly easy word to understand if you understand technology, right? Technology is just the science or anything that has to do with computers or basically anything that we are advancing in our lives. So we are getting, our computers are getting smarter, our phones are getting smarter, our tablets are getting smarter, and all those things are all different types of technology. You could also have medical technology, you could have, again, computer technology, engineering technology behind all of that. And then technological is just the adjective form of it. And so, as we see in our example sentence, there have been many technological achievements over the past 20 years, which is something that I think everybody has seen fairly recently in human history. All of a sudden, technology has kind of skyrocketed, and we are advancing much quicker than we had before.
We absolutely are. So let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to find out more about Sam Altman and his road to success.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要介绍的人物是 ChatGPT 之父 Sam Altman， 山姆·阿特曼。那课文一开始写到说，阿特曼拥有世界上的一切，年仅39岁的他是 ChatGPT 背后的公司 OpenAI 的执行长，因此呢，他可以说是最近一些最重要技术发展的核心。我们待会在下一个段落要来看看他如何在这么年轻的时候就取得这样的成就。好，单字 technological， 它是形容词，形容科技的、技术的。例句有提到，过去20年来一直有许多科技成就。那么 Sam 老师他用到 skyrocket 来描述科技进展的速度。那么 sky 加上 rocket 构成这个动词，它表示剧增、飙升或是一飞冲天的意思。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 at one's fingertips， 它可以表达近在手边，随手可得。Fingertip 意思是指尖，那常常会用 have something at one's fingertips 来表达容易找到或取得，方便使用。那 fingertips 要用复数型哦。例如 Ted has all the latest figures at his fingertips。 Ted 手头上有所有的最新数据。好，那我们继续回到课文中。
Altman's first venture was Looped, an app that allowed users to share their location with friends. He created it at the age of 19 after dropping out of college. In the end, Looped failed, but that didn't stop Altman. The co-founder of the startup accelerator Y Combinator, Paul Graham, was so impressed by Altman's drive that he made him the company's next president when Altman was only 28. Before long, Altman had joined with Elon Musk to create the AI lab that would go on to become OpenAI. These days, Altman is changing the world through AI, which he believes will be important for the future development of mankind. With more research, he claims that artificial general intelligence, AI that can think as humans do, can be achieved in the next 4 to 5 years.
All right, so the road for Sam Altman to success has not been super long. He's only 39, but like many of these great tech people, he did something before he got into OpenAI. Probably made some money from a first business, a first invention, and used that. I mean, Elon Musk, right? Wasn't he part of PayPal?
Yeah, I think he bought
He made a
PayPal
lot of money off PayPal and then used that to do SpaceX and his other companies. So Altman also had some success early on. It says his first venture, Altman's first venture was Looped. Looped, an app that allowed users to share their location with friends. Okay, there were a few of these in the old days. Foursquare was another one that I remember. So Looped was one of his first businesses or his first ventures, and it allowed you to share your location. Of course, there's lots of apps that do that now. You can do that with Facebook, you can do that with Google Maps, you can do that in all sorts of different ways. But basically, if you want to tell people where you are or let them know where you are, you have to tell them where you are, and where you are is a location. That's what a location is. Where you are, where you're going, where I'm going to meet you. What restaurant are we meeting at? That's the location. Tell me your location so I know where to find you, says every taxi driver and every Uber driver in the world, because otherwise they're not going to pick you up. They don't know your location.
Yes, and so now if we get back to our article, we're going to see more about how did he kind of start out and get to this point. Again, we saw that he created Looped, and now it says he created it at the age of 19 after dropping out of college.
19?
So that, I would say, is very young, that he started working in this kind of field and all this technological stuff.
I could barely wash my clothes at 19.
I guess I was just in college at 19.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, some people.
Yeah.
It says, in the end, Looped failed, but that didn't stop Altman, the co-founder of the startup accelerator Y Combinator. Paul Graham was so impressed by Altman's drive that he made him the company's next president when Altman was only 28.
Wow.
So we've gone from, stopping school, dropping out of college. That means you started college and then you decided, oh, this wasn't for me, so he stopped. That would be called dropping out. And so at 19, he's created this Looped. Now he's impressing the right people and he's getting into these different good jobs and he's got a really good position at 28.
Very interesting. So it kind of shows he didn't have a big success with Looped, but the way he worked at it, his determination, his hard work, his work ethic, we might say, impressed someone, and that led to bigger and better things.
Yes, and so he impressed somebody, and this word impress means to leave an impression on somebody. And what that just means is that you did something that made somebody remember you. Now you can leave good impressions and you can leave bad impressions. So sometimes we say it's hard to get past a first impression. So when you first meet somebody, your first reaction to them or how you feel about them or what you remember about them, sometimes that's kind of hard to change, is why we say first impressions matter. And so here in our example sentence, we have Damien impressed his teachers with his reading ability. So he must have been a very good reader, and his teachers thought, wow, that was awesome, and they remembered him.
Yeah, especially when you do better than people expect you to. So at the end of what you do, if people are going, well, that was pretty good, you probably impress those people. Well done. Pat on the back for yourself. Before long, Altman had joined with Elon Musk to create the AI lab that would go on to become OpenAI. It's interesting how many of these Silicon Valley tech people have their, different projects going on. They're always looking to do different things in different areas with computers and artificial intelligence, and they were working in a lab. Well, of course, if you're doing science, it makes sense to work in a lab. This word is short for laboratory or laboratory, as some people might pronounce it, and basically it's a special room or area or place where people do scientific experiments. But of course, anywhere you're doing it, you're doing science, you're doing research, and you have a lot of smart people working together to make new discoveries. Or maybe it's in a James Bond film. The experiments took place in a secret lab. Ooh, with men marching around with guns and bad guys everywhere. But basically, it's a place to do science. Hopefully good science, not evil science.
Hopefully. Yeah. And so now we get back to Altman and we see that now we're talking about these days. That means what's happening now. And it says these days, Altman is changing the world through AI, which he believes will be important for the future development of mankind. So he thinks that this is a very important thing. And as we have been seeing since it has popped up, it has played some pretty important roles, and it does look like it could kind of have a big hand in our future. So
yes. could help mankind or it could destroy mankind. We hope that it helps and not destroys, because if it destroys mankind, we're all dead, because we are mankind, people. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about men, specifically boys and men. We're talking about human beings. We could say, some people do say people kind. Right? Or they might say humanity, right? That would be another one. You might know this, of course, Neil Armstrong. That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. For people, the human race is what we're basically saying there. Mankind, or people, has always been interested in studying the stars. And yes, it's always mankind as a plural. We wouldn't say mankind's as a plural. No, it's just we are mankind. We are all people.
Yes, and so back to our article, it says, with more research, he claims that artificial general intelligence, AI that can think as humans do, can be achieved in the next 4 to 5 years. Ooh, that's the one everybody thinks could be kind of scary, is if the machines can start to think like people can.
I hope it can think like smart, kind, and intelligent people, not like, the other kind. But anyways, that's very interesting. And as we said, a lot we don't know, but some of the things we don't know, we will know tomorrow, because we have another article about Sam Altman. We won't predict the future, but we might tell you about some of the things he's working on now and in the future. And hopefully we'll all be here to enjoy them. But we will be here tomorrow, so we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
阿特曼的第一个事业是 Looped， 它是一个允许用户跟朋友分享位置的应用程式。那这是在他19岁大学辍学后所创立的。后来 Looped 失败了，但这并没有阻止他。课文就提到说 Y Combinator 的共同创办人 Paul Graham， 他对阿特曼的干劲印象非常深刻。那么在阿特曼28岁的时候，就任命他成为该公司的下一任总裁。那不久后呢，阿特曼跟伊隆马斯克又联合创立了人工智慧实验室，之后则成为了 OpenAI 公司。好，那如今阿特曼他正在透过人工智慧改变世界，他认为这对人类未来的发展至关重要。我们来看单字 location 表示位置或是地点。那么 impress 是动词，表示使什么印象深刻，使钦佩，给予什么留下印象。它的名词是 impression， 那就表示印象。再来 lab 是实验室，它是 laboratory 的简称，也有人念作 laboratory。好，再看到 mankind， 它是人类，是个集合名词。Mike 老师提到，也许是阿特曼的决心努力，还有他的工作伦理都让人印象深刻，所以才有后续这些更大的成就。那老师用到 work ethic 来表达工作伦理 ，ethic 是拼作 ethic， 那这个字表示伦理或是道德规范。这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 drop out， 它表示退出、脱离，像是退出课程活动等等，或者是脱离团体。那么后面常常会接 of 加上名词，像 drop out of school 从学校辍学， drop out of university 从大学辍学等等。例如 she dropped out of school at the age of 16 to pursue her acting career， 她16岁辍学去追求她的演艺生涯。那第二重点是 go on 表示继续。那我们来看看它不同用法。第一种，你可以用 go on to 加原形动词，这是表达在完成某件事之后，继续接着去做另一件事。例如 After graduation, he went on to study law at Harvard University. 毕业后，他接着去哈佛大学攻读法律。那么第二个用法，你可以用 go on 加上动词 ing， 或者是 go on with 加名词，这是表达继续目前正在做的事。像 The speaker paused for a moment and then went on with her speech. 那位演讲者暂停了一下，接着继续演讲。好，那以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Sam Altman has the world at his fingertips. At just 39 years old, he is the CEO of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. As such, he is central to some of the most important technological developments of recent times. But how did Altman get to this level of success at such a young age? Altman's first venture was Looped, an app that allowed users to share their location with friends. He created it at the age of 19 after dropping out of college. In the end, Looped failed, but that didn't stop Altman. The co-founder of the startup accelerator Y Combinator, Paul Graham, was so impressed by Altman's drive that he made him the company's next president when Altman was only 28. Before long, Altman had joined with Elon Musk to create the AI lab that would go on to become OpenAI. These days, Altman is changing the world through AI, which he believes will be important for the future development of mankind. With more research, he claims that artificial general intelligence, AI that can think as humans do, can be achieved in the next 4 to 5 years.
Hello everybody, today we are going to the Taitung Art Museum. Now, the Taitung Art Museum is a relatively new museum compared to some of the more famous museums in the world. So when we think of a famous museum, probably one of the first ones that comes to mind is the Louvre, right, in Paris. How old do you think that is? 100 years? 50 years? 200 years? No, 800 years old. So it has got a lot more history there than we have at the Taitung Art Museum. But since it's a relatively new museum, we still have a chance to build it up by going there and visiting it. So let's take a look at what it has to offer. Taitung Art Museum is the first county art museum in Taiwan, and it was opened in 2007. There are 2 main exhibit halls in the art museum called Song of the Mountains and Dance of the Sea. The theme of this area is nature. Nearby are classrooms, restaurants, and rooms for resident artists. This building also has a very modern design. Visitors can see Taitung's beautiful scenery in the reflection of the building. The art park outside has a lot of landscape art, which is very beautiful. The museum is in central Taitung, and guess what? It's free to enter. It's a great place for people to go and relax. Wow, the Taitung Art Museum sounds like a really beautiful place to visit. The landscaping is very beautiful, and best, it is free to get in. The Louvre is not free. It actually costs quite a bit of money. Plus, you have to pay for airfare to get all the way to Paris. So don't waste your money. Let's just go to the Taitung Art Museum. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.